Do you see the red light?
Oh, yeah.
That just means it's recording.
Right,
So
okay.
it'd be recording now, essentially.
Okay. You've got to sit here, dear.
So I'm calling this project Love Through the Ages.
Right.
So basically I just want to interview you about your love story and ask a few questions.
Right, okay.
So my first question is, what does love mean to you?
It means having someone nice with you who's a friend, who can be a friend as well. I don't know about you. When you first meet, you like each other, don't you? And then that turns to love, and then that turns gradually over the years is love and friendship and respecting each other. To me. What about you? Might get a different answer.
Yeah.
It's being with somebody that you care about, looking after them.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, really. That's what love means. Look, not thinking just about yourself. You're thinking of someone else.
Yeah.
What qualities are important in love to make it work, would you say?
Definitely respect and making sure that you're not upsetting the other person by something you've said or something you've done, which is not easy. And if you do, then you've got to apologise.
Respect for each other, that's what it is, isn't it? Just do as you're told.
When did you know you were in love?
Don't really know, do
No,
you? It
just-
sort of creeps on you. You go out together and
Yeah, we started
Do
off.
things,
We
yeah.
started off as friends going to the cinema because I lived at his house because of my situation where we hadn't got anywhere to live, and his mum took me in. So we started off as friends, and we got the same interests in music and going to the cinema, and it gradually turned from friendship to love. Yeah, that we liked each other's company.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Grandpa's mum took you in.
Yes.
So what was your life like before that, and what led to that happening?
Well, I lived at home with my sister Vera and my dad. All the other rest of my family had moved out and got married, but I was 18 and Vera was 20 when my father decided to give the house up that we were living in, council house, up New Parks, and go and live with a lady across the road who he'd taken up with. And he didn't want the house anymore. So Vera was engaged, and she went up the road where her boyfriend lived, or fiancé, moved in with them. And I got nowhere. And I'd just started a new job. And Ray's mum was the one that taught me the job, and I sat crying, and I got nowhere to live, and she took me in. Yeah. 18-year-old with a suitcase and nowhere to go, actually. Wow. So it was fated that I was to go and learn this new job at this new factory. And the same week, things happened in that week that I was to go and live with her. It was fate, I'm sure it was.
What was life like for you before Grandma came into your life? Where were you at in life? What were you doing?
Very shy.
Well, I was in the big bedroom with my brother. He joined the army, so that meant I got the room to myself.
A big.
Then Sylvia moved in.
Oh no!
I got shoved into the small box bedroom, and Sylvia had the big bedroom with her own wardrobe and her own bed. I had to do my model planes and stick them up on the ceiling because I've got nowhere else to put them.
Because I was 18 and Grandpa was only 17 and he was still an apprentice, you see, so yeah. It didn't go down very well that I got the big bedroom.
Well, the thing was, it was a big bedroom, but it had got a fireplace in it.
Yeah.
And Dad used to bring the ashes up in the morning and put them in the fireplace.
And spoiled
And
me.
it would warm the room.
Yeah, it spoiled me,
But
didn't
the
it?
little bedroom hadn't got a fireplace.
His dad spoiled me because he
Yes,
always
he
wanted
wanted
a
a
girl
daughter.
and he had two boys, so he loved having a daughter. Well, he loved having a girl there to look after. I was the youngest of 8 children, 4 boys and 4 girls, and I was the youngest one. Yeah.
And how many people were in the house at Grandpa's house when you were together then?
4.
4.
His mum and dad,
Me.
and his brother, Brian.
Brother were in the army.
So it was a bit of a downsize, like then for you, going from like 8 siblings to then like half of that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, quieter house.
Yeah. But I was used to having boys around with having 4 brothers, so him and his brother Brian was fine. I got on fine with them.
How would you describe yourself as single young people? What were you like?
Before we met,
Yeah.
well, I've always been outgoing, and my sister Vera, we used to go dancing together on Saturday night, every Saturday night.
You used to make your own dresses as well, right?
We used to make our own dresses. We used to go to the market stalls, the Leicester Market, when it was a fantastic market, buy some material, go home, cut these dresses out and make them up. And all we had was a little hand turn machine. Weren't electric, you had to turn the handle. We'd cut the materials out, didn't we? We'd cut the material out. We knew the dress shapes by heart. And Vera would hold the machine to push it, and I used to be going away with the handle, and then she'd shout stop, and I'd stop. And that's how we made. And we wore them that night, so we had about 3-4 hours to make 2 dresses.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
That was in the late 1950s. I was probably 16, 14, 16, 17.
Like rock and roll type stuff.
Rock and roll, yes, but that was more late 50s. That was probably 58, 59.
What about you, Grandpa? What were you like?
I was still growing up, playing with my toys.
What were your toys?
Doing,
I was into music, but I built my own crystal set to listen to it, and then graduated up to making my own valve radios with headphones. So I used to sit in my room listening to Luxembourg or the pirate stations. Wasn't it? Yeah.
What other toys did you have?
Either models. Make the models up, cars or planes. Like I said, I used to do the planes
Yeah.
and stick them on the ceiling.
yeah, the Airfix models.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You did a bit of tinkering with your motors as well, right?
Yeah. The ceiling in my small room was just wires for the aerial, for the radios and that.
Oh wow.
The only way I could get it. So it was just a mass of wires all across the ceiling.
Oh my gosh.
It used to cause more trouble when Mum used to come in and clean with a duster and
Dragging part of
Yeah,
your models
put 'em
down.
all
Models down.
I used to have rabbits. I could only have been about 10, but I made the hutches myself.
It was destined to be a joiner, weren't it?
I've got about 4 or 5 rabbits on the top of the garden. And then mice, I had some mice. Till one eat the other, and then I had to get rid of them.
Oh no.
That was before me, actually.
That was before, yeah, that was when I was younger. I could have only been about 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know that actually.
No, I didn't
Yeah, you
realise that.
forget, You forget these things.
We did have a rabbit.
We did have a rabbit here,
called
yeah. but-
Pinky. He was pure white with pink eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, he was Pinky. We had him quite a few years, didn't we?
Yeah.
What would you say is your favourite thing about each other?
I think we can have a laugh together without taking offence.
Yeah.
You know?
Do stupid things and
Yeah,
just make
yeah.
each other laugh.
If you can laugh with each other, that makes a hell of a lot of difference. You know.
What is probably one of the most romantic things you can think that has happened, like a memory or something you've done for each other? If anything comes to mind.
I think,
Learning to swim.
is that
We
romantic?
both went. I couldn't swim.
Neither of us could swim.
No,
And we were 32.
and we used to make a point Saturday morning, didn't we? We used to go to Mulber's bus station.
You got to be there by 8 o'clock
Yeah.
because they taught non-swimmers for an hour. So we took your dad and Uncle Kevin, your dad would be about 6 and Kevin was 3. So we determined that they weren't going to be like us. We were determined that they should learn to swim. But we also went to learn to swim ourselves. And yeah, we enjoyed it. We had a good laugh. Both.
Well, when I was younger, what they used to do, they used to go to the Lido, which was an outdoor swimming pool. Outdoor swimming pool. And then, what they used to do was if you couldn't swim, they'd take you into the middle and leave you. And they'd done that to me, and it frightened me. So I didn't want to go near water again.
That's how they used to learn you.
That's how they used to learn you. Just take you out and leave you.
You had a bad experience with, because you saw a drowning, right?
Well, nearly drowning. My brother, my brother, he was only 12, nearly drowned.
Did that put you off of swimming as well?
It did a bit. I was frightened of water. I was very frightened of water after that, because I decided that my children were going to learn to swim. You know, so I thought, well, if they're going to learn, why don't we learn? I mean, I've not been swimming for years, but I'm sure if I fell in, I'd be able to doggy paddle. Doggy paddle out.
It's surprising once you get in, it comes back to you. Once you've learned.
Yeah. Kevin and your dad are very good swimmers, so we did the right thing.
Yes. Yeah. What trials and tribulations have you faced together?
Well, a lot of trials is losing people you love, family members. We've lost quite a few people along the way. Yeah, that's the most sort of thing that's upsetting.
Yeah, it was with your sister, because you were close with Beryl.
Yeah,
that was worse for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've seen 4 brothers and 3 sisters go, plus my mum and dad.
Wow.
So it's a lot of funerals to attend.
Mine was with my brother. Because when he was in the bungalow, I used to go over a couple of times a week. And then from then on, he just deteriorated. He was in an home, and I used to go and visit him, and he just went downhill.
Yeah, that's it.
And it stretched over a long time, which was worse.
Yes.
See, there's 8 years difference between him and his brother. His brother 8 years older, weren't he? Yeah. Where we went up in 2 years. So that's how we know how old people were.
Well, you've got your brothers and sisters. I've only got my brother.
I mean, I always had someone to talk to or play with. So
I've got nobody like that now. Syl's got Vera.
I think we're more sympathetic to people when they have relationships that break up.
Yeah.
Because they've not realised that it could still work if you work at it. Yeah. I mean, we've had trials and tribulations, things have gone wrong, we haven't had enough money for this, or you get irritated one or the other, you know, if you're tired or menopausal or sleepless nights with children, you all get that.
You do, yeah. It's like this morning, I put the washing out, and Syl comes out and said, "You've not hung it on right, you've not hung it right, hang it properly."
No, I didn't.
There
was just a pair of trousers, a pair of trousers that wouldn't get this.
And the big bed cover.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Put some more pegs on it.
But you get that.
You take it, you just go, all right then. Yeah, fair enough.
We still have fallouts, of course we do. Of course we do, but I probably don't speak for an hour or two, or I'll slam cupboard doors, or you tolerate each other through them times. It's no use arguing all the while, it don't get you anywhere in the end.
How do you overcome these hard times, and do you think that you become stronger by going through it together?
Yes, you do, because you're there for each other, you console each other.
Help each other out.
And you can talk about it. The thing is, when you're grieving, you've got to talk about them. You can't just ignore that they've gone. You've got to cry, you've got to grieve, and that's the way that you get over things.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I mean, it's not easy when you lose someone. You probably know yourself. You grieve for a long while. There's no date of when you can grieve till. It's ongoing, and you just go through the stages. Yeah.
Sylvia will show her emotions, well, I won't. I'll bottle it up.
Yeah. Which is no good.
That's just the way I am.
Yeah, that's it. Man, I think a lot of men are like that. Our generation men are like that. They're probably not nowadays. They probably show the feelings more,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it shows that with Kevin. He shows his emotions,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
How did having children affect your relationship?
It's very strange because there'd only been you two together, and then suddenly you got this little creature that's dependent on you. It's wonderful and frightening at the same time because they don't come with a manual.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
You know,
You don't know what to do. You
it's
just got
all
to
a
do it
learning
by
curve.
learning.
Even though I'd seen my sisters with their children,
Yeah.
and you loved them and hold them and all like that, but you're not there when they're sick.
Yeah.
You're not there when they're teething.
Yeah.
You've got all that to go through, starting school and all this. Just a learning curve.
Well, we learned that with Kevin, didn't we? I mean, he wouldn't sleep at night.
Yeah.
The slightest thing, he'd wake him up, then you'd never get him off.
Well, he
But
suffered
it
with...
took us a long while to find out that he'd got
He
colic.
got colic. It was the powdered food,
Yeah.
the milk, that was making him like it. As soon as he was 10 months old, 9 or 10 months old, and he went on cow's milk, that's about the first time he started sleeping through the night. Whereas your dad, he was a lovely sleeper. When he was about 4 weeks old, he was sleeping through the night, your dad. So you can imagine the shock of Kevin
Yeah.
waking up about 4 or 5 times a night,
Oh.
screaming, literally screaming with the pain of colic.
What was your timeline like then? So you got married and then you moved in? Or I suppose you moved in, you lived
Well,
together
we
anyway,
lived-
didn't you?
We- I think we'd been engaged about a year, or 14, 15 months before we got married. But all that time, as I say, we didn't go out very often, only once a month, because we were saving to pay for our own wedding. Yeah, that's how we done it, didn't
Yeah,
we?
yeah.
And we went to Blackpool for a week's
yeah,
honeymoon, didn't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'd got the motorbike then, so we could go different places.
Yeah.
We'd go visit here to see how it was going on.
Yeah.
We'd go Bradgate
Yeah, we
on
go
the
round,
motorbike. So we
round,
got
didn't
about
we?
there.
Yeah, we got about on the motorbike.
Until we got a car.
Yeah, weren't we?
Sylvia used to go work on the bus,
Yeah,
and I used
2
to
buses.
go on the bike.
2 buses from there.
Yeah.
Grandad wanted me to ask this question to him.
Right.
So I'm going to ask it to you guys. Have you ever felt temptation to stray from your partner?
No.
No,
No.
I couldn't cope.
No. No.
No.
No.
I've got enough women in my life now. I don't want any more. This had happened a few weeks ago. Kevin gave me a black bag full of coat hangers,
Oh yeah.
and it was big. It was this, standing this high.
There must have been
100.
over 100.
And I went down
over
the tip, and the bloke on the gate says, "What you got?" I says, "Coat hangers. I've got hundreds of them." He says, "Where you get them from?" So I had to think quick. I says, "I've got a wife, 3 granddaughters." I said, "And they're all buying clothes with coat hangers." He says, "You've got my sympathy. Tip number 4.
Well, we just like clothes, don't we, girls?
Yeah, he took his rubber glove off and shook my hand.
Girls just
Could have
want to
been.
have fun.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm due to go again Monday.
Yeah.
More coat hangers this time.
No, cardboard boxes
This is
from
Bianca's rubbish.
And do you have any advice for younger people in their pursuit for love?
Yes, if you find someone that you can be friends with and you really get on, that can turn to love. Or if you're just going to be friends with them, that's okay as well. You can soon move in with somebody and still be friends. You know, you can share a house and still be friends, can't you? As long,
Yeah.
probably love will come later. You don't know.
A lot of things that break marriages up is money words.
Money, yeah.
One is spending too much and the other's
Yeah.
not earning enough or something, and
Yeah.
it'll cause the family to
Well,
break
there's
up.
a saying, isn't there? Money is the root of all evil, and it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Another saying is, if money walks out the window, love walks out the door. And it's true, because it's all down to money. That you'll argue more over, I think. We don't argue over it, because we've been careful. But we can see the people when they overspend and they get into trouble and they get into debt.
Yeah.
And that's where the trouble starts. Yeah.
I think that's all my questions, unless you wanted to add anything.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Been very
thank you.
entertaining.
Yes, it has,
Found
really,
a few
yeah,
things
yeah.
out between us as well.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
And we hope you have a lovely holiday in Canada.
Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you both a hug.
Thank you, sweetheart. Oh, lovely.
Oh,
I'll come to you.
I know.
Yeah, everything we've said is true. You've just got to
Edit it.
Yeah, I will.
forgive and move on if you've done something wrong. Right, obviously say you're sorry even if you don't know what you've said it for. Even if you don't know what you're apologising for, just say you're
Just say
sorry.
you're sorry.
Yeah.